Hello everyone. Today's problem is max number of k-sum pairs. So we are given an array of integers and another number k, and in one operation we can choose two integers, and if their sum is equal to k, then we can delete those two integers from the array. The question is very simple. It is only asking us whether how many such operations are possible. For example, in this case I can choose this pair of 3 2, and when I delete it I am left with another pair which is this one, and one more pair which is this one. So there are total 3 number of pairs such that their sum is equals to k, that is 5. So the answer in this case is 3. So let us see how we can solve this problem. The first solution involves using two for loops, and we have two pointers. One starts pointing from the first element and second starts from here. Then this pointer keeps on going forward until it finds a number such that the sum of that number and our current number, which is being pointed by I, is equals to 5. In this example, our other pointer, that is j, will keep moving forward until it reach here. Then the sum of these values is definitely 5, and therefore these are marked as true, that is they are already taken, and then I pointer moves forward to this integer. Again we look for the required integer in this part of the array, and we found none, therefore I again increases and it reaches here. Again we look for an integer, and this time when j starts from here then goes here, and here it finds a match, so we mark these as true as well. So now these integers are already taken, therefore we skip this integer and this integer. Then I points here, again it looks for an integer, but it has no integer. We have checked this one also, so we move forward. Again j starts from here, and here it finds a number such that their sum is equal to k, therefore these integers are also taken, and now it's time to come out of the loop. So the answer is 3, and the time complexity in this case is order of n square. The time complexity is order of n square because we start from this element and we nearly loop over all these elements. Then this pointer, that is pointer I, moves forward, and we again nearly loop over all these elements, and so on. Therefore the time complexity is n square, and this solution won't work because n square is actually huge. So now let us look at the better way to solve this question. We start by sorting the given array. Then we need two pointers, one pointing at the first location, let us call this I, and another pointing at the last location, let us call this j. Currently we can see that if we sum these values, that is the one being pointed by I and j, then it is 8, which is definitely greater than our required k, which is 5. And therefore we decrease the value of j, and j starts pointing here. Again 5 plus 1 6, it is greater than the required k, and therefore j reaches here. Now the value that is being pointed by I and the value that is being pointed by j, when they are added together they give us 5, and therefore our answer, which was let's say previously set to 0, increases by 1 and it becomes 1, because we have found one such pair. And in that case we increase both the value of I and j, therefore I reaches here and j reaches here. Again we can see that if I is added to j, it again is equal to 5, and therefore the value of answer increases again and it becomes equal to 2. Now the value of I increases again and value of j decreases again. Again the sum of these values is equal to 5, therefore the value of answer increases by 1 and it becomes 3. Then again we increase the value of I and decrease the value of j, and now we can see that I and j have crossed each other, and therefore this loop breaks, and finally we have our answer, which is 3. So this method is very simple and it is known as two pointer method, and in this method we sort the given array. We maintain two pointers I and j, one points to the starting location and another to the end, and if the sum of the values is greater than the required number, then we decrease the value of j. As the array is already sorted, we know that now the sum will be smaller, and we keep doing this until the sum becomes equal to the required number, or if it becomes less than the required number, in that case we increase the value of I. The time complexity of this method is order of n log n, because we are sorting the array, plus order of n because only once we are looping over these elements. Let me give you another example. Here's our I and here's our j. Currently the sum is greater than 5, therefore j decreases and it reaches here. Now the sum is 3 plus 1 4, which is less than k, and therefore this time j stays there, but value of I increases and therefore I reaches here. And now I and j, the values they are pointing to, their addition is indeed equal to 5, and therefore both I and j increases. Now as I and j have reached the same spot and one integer cannot be taken twice, therefore our loop breaks and our answer in this case is only 1. And for calculating the worst case time complexity, it is not necessary to account this also, because this is small than this time complexity, and therefore overall time complexity is order of n log n. So we have seen two methods. The first one does not work, this will work, and now let us see another method which we will code also and which is better than both of these methods. Now the current method uses a map, and when we reach any integer we try to check whether if this integer can be added with any other integer to make it equal to 5, and for this we need a map to store the integers which we have already encountered. So we encounter 3, and we know that if we want any other integer to be present to make this integer plus that integer equal to 5, then that integer is 2. So we check if 2 is present in the map. Well, it is not present in the map. Currently we can say that in map its value is 0 because it has not appeared even once, and therefore we cannot use this integer to form this value now. So we stored this value in the array and it has occurred only one number of times. Then we move forward to the next integer, which is 5. Well, as per the constraints of the question, every value in the given array is less than or equal to 10 raised to the power 9 and greater than or equal to 1. It is impossible for 0 to be present, but still we check for it, and again we found no instance of it, and therefore we increase the value of 5 by 1 and make it equal to 1, because 5 has appeared once in the current array. Again we move forward. Now we are at 1, and 1 plus x equals to 5. For that we need x equals to 4, and currently we don't have 4 in the map, and therefore we have to store this value of 1, and we have one instance of 1. Then we move to 2. To make 2 plus x equals to 5, we need x equals to 3. So we have 3 in the map or not? Yes, we have 3 in the map and it is here, and therefore here we decrease the value of 3 by 1 and it becomes 0, and as this integer is already used with 3, we do not increase the value of 2 here, but the value of answer definitely increases by 1, and from 0 it becomes 1. Now we move to the next integer and we have encountered 4. Now 1 is the number which is required in this case, and do we have 1? Yes, we have. Therefore we use this one, and now we have only 0 numbers of 1 available. The value of answer increases by 1 again, and this 4 is not added in the map. We move forward again. Now we reach 7. Now with 7 we need a negative 2 to make 7 plus negative 2 equals to 5, but it is impossible to get that because the constraints of the problem says that every integer is greater than 0. But anyways, we store this in the map if we want, and it is not necessary. And again the value of I pointer increases and it reaches here. Now 3 plus 2 is equals to 5, and do we have any number of 2 present currently? The answer is no, and therefore we increase the value of 3 by 1 and it becomes 1 here. Our pointer moves forward. Now for 2 we need a 3 to make 2 plus 3 equals to 5, and do we have any number of 3 present in the map? The answer is yes, and therefore our answer increases by 1 and it becomes 3. This 2 we do not add to map because this is already used, and we reduce the value of 3 here. Again we move forward, and now the array is over, and therefore we have our answer, which is 3. Now the time complexity of this method is order of n because only once we are required to parse the given array. So now let's code the solution. The first thing that I require is a map. Let us say int10 is equals to size of the given array. Let there be another integer need and another integer answer, which is currently set to 0. Then I parse over the array. Nums of I is our current number, and therefore need is equal to k minus nums of I. Now if need is present in the map, then I need to decrease it by 1 and increase the value of answer by 1 as well. And if it is not present, then I need to increase the value of current number by 1. Answer does not change, and Yes, that's it for the solution. Let us return answer, run code, and correct. So let us submit this code, accepted. So I hope you understood the logic. And as you can see that this solution used a lot of memory, but it is necessary because we are using a map. We can save some memory by actually not storing those integers which are essentially greater than the required number k or equal to k, but that won't make much of a difference. And the other solution which we saw, that is the two pointer method, its time complexity is more, but it does not use up any additional space. So these are the trade-offs between both of these solutions. So I hope you understood the solution, and now I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.